video, I'm going to talk about how to become a ISA Certified Arborist Utility Specialist. You have to first become a certified arborist, which requires you to have 3 years of experience in the industry of tree work. And then once you've become a certified arborist, you must then show that you've spent at least 1.5 years. They break it down into hours, but at least 1.5 years of tree work doing utility work. Usually some kind of vegetation management is required. And once you do that, then you'll again take a test that helps you test out of the certification for utility work. Right now, I operate primarily as a utility specialist. And some of the work that I do is quality control, tree inspections, tree identification, customer relations. I also deal with like training and oak wood qualifications for oak wood training and that sort of thing. I also do planning, so I do planning for circuits and tree work to see what kind of equipment we need in order to get trees cleared. I help schedule outages. I help to get equipment, things like that. Planning for tickets. Say you have a tree growing into your power line, you put a ticket in order for it. I work for one of the main companies in the city of San Antonio that does this. And unfortunately, I am the only, as of right now, I am the only utility arborist in the city of San Antonio. And I do believe we need more of these people that are qualified in order to do these inspections and to ensure that trees are properly pruned, because there's a balance between when you study utility work and utility arboriculture, or arboriculture and utility. When you study arboriculture in the utility world, it's very important to understand that you have to balance between the tree structure and tree preservation, and also in terms of the infrastructure of the electrical equipment. So you have to balance all of that together. And what you end up doing to the trees is you do directional pruning to where the trees are modified to grow around it. And that really only gets you so far. Sometimes you have to take trees out because the trees you're leaving are not suitable to be left in that environment, or to become hazardous or structurally compromised. So you have to be able to use that understanding and knowledge to determine what trees have to be taken out, what trees can be preserved. And a lot of it goes into tree species, growth structure, behavior, health and placement. All these play a factor in understanding how to trim trees. You do have to understand the different priorities of tree work. That's one of the things that the book will cover for you is storm work and prioritization for developing like a action plan to prioritize which circuits should be treated first or develop first. Especially these kinds of things happen after natural disasters, whether they're tornadoes or hurricanes, and where there's tons of trees over power lines, and then the actual safety steps to ensure that the work is done safely. There's a lot of beneficial work, and one of the most lucrative fields in arboriculture is utility work, but it's very, very dangerous. And because of that danger, it does go up in salary, does go up in income. But definitely we need more people in this field, because of the way that the trees are handled. A lot of the times we do get complaints, and I do have to go, and I won't mention any other companies, but I do have to go and look at other companies' works on trees that have done inadequate jobs, poor pruning, and leaving trees structurally inept or structurally unsound. So a lot of this correlates to understanding utility work, but I really would recommend, if it's something that you're interested in, something that you see viability in, because there's tons of viability. I know one of the most lucrative jobs I had was doing utility work in California, and I would just say that you use a lot of these practices that you understand the utility of arboriculture to understand placement, because I see a lot of times where arborists, even trained arborists, will misplace a tree not considering the power lines or not considering the ground infrastructure for underground wires. And a lot of these things have to be taken into place whenever you're doing site development and project managements like that. And but I really would recommend that any certified arborist that is interested in doing utility work, look into doing this credential. You may be already doing utility work, and this credential is only going to help you reach that next level of maybe it's supervising, maybe it's in charge managing, supervising, or inspecting, or planning. I work primarily as a planner as of right now, but I also do supervisory work, and I also do, when I do quality control, or say our managers are out, I have to step in for them. I have the competency to do that. And I really would recommend people that are in utility work, or that are certified arborists, to really get into understanding what it needs to be certified utility work. But they branch it off like that, and quite reasonably, you have to. I believe ISA did a good job of creating the certification, because utility work is such a fundamental difference, in my opinion, than compared to other forms of arboriculture, because you have to account for the directional pruning, and it's literally balancing the nature of the electrical line or utility line with the structure integrity of the tree. So you cannot have both. Like, you cannot have one completely over the other. If you just trimmed everything within a 10-foot power line structurally, you may kill the tree. So you have to do a little bit of directional pruning. And the same thing goes with the tree. You can't just allow it to grow directly into a power line. You have to do some directional pruning. And being able to understand the balance between those two things is really the crux of being a utility arborist.